Today is perhaps one of the most significant days in the history of the Scottish Parliament. MSPs are going to be asked whether or not to legalise assisted dying. It's a really close call, too close to call at the moment. We are potentially looking at the vote being decided by only a single-digit number of MSPs either way. It's going to go late on tonight. We're expecting a very late night sitting for the final bill, but we have a live blog on the Scotsman's website which you can keep on track of what's happening, and we'll have a full rundown of what happens in tomorrow's paper as well. So keep an eye on the website. I'll bring you all the latest on this most important of days in Holyrood.
I think people should have the choice of what they wish to do. At the moment, there is choice, and every one of those MPs has the choice because they have the financial being to go to Switzerland or Belgium. We need to give people like us the choice. My husband went to Dignitas and he died a beautiful death. And I saw just before Christmas, I saw my friend die, begging us to make the pain stop as she started to bleed out. And everybody deserves the choice, and not everyone can afford it.
It really is a momentous day, and one that's been years in the making. Later today, Liam MacArthur will open the final debate on the Assisted Dying for Terminally Ill Adults Scotland Bill. And this is a bill that could really change everything for dying people in terms of compassion, in terms of choice, and in terms of safety.
It's not important to me, it's important to the Parliament, but most of all it's important to the so many dying Scots who are desperate to see a change in the law for them and for their families. We've heard those personal stories over the past 5 years. We know that not backing this bill is not going to make a single person more safe. It's just going to leave ever increasing numbers of Scots at the end of life facing horrendous decisions, more at risk, more isolated, more vulnerable. So I'm hopeful that my MSP colleagues will rise to that challenge and vote with the courage of their convictions and deliver a change that's long overdue and desperately needed.
Well done, you. It was
I'm here today because obviously I have the vote on the assisted dying bill from Liam MacArthur, and I'm against the bill. So I think it is really important to be here. It's not just about legislation, I think it's also about the message that we're sending out to broader society. I think that every life has got value, not just on account of what condition you have or don't have, or everyone's got value. And I think that people who are suffering already can feel a lot of internal pressure from themselves, and there are already barriers. And I think that if this bill is passed, it's telling people that their life is not worth protecting as much as others. Absolutely, I think the fact that my whole life kind of turned upside down, and I do have pain, I have suffering every day, and sometimes I think it's natural we can think life is so difficult, and I think when you look at the impact it can have on your family, your friends, your loved ones, you can feel like a burden, and often I do feel like a burden. And I think that the last thing that we should be offering is telling people, well, do you know what, if you're a burden, then there's a way out for you and you can alleviate it. It's not about coercion necessarily from other people that they want to protect. There is no bill that can protect against the internal self-coercion that you feel at times, and that's really worrying.
Believe it is on a knife edge. I know that there are many colleagues who are weighing up the issues over the course of this afternoon. I think I would urge them to heed the voices of doctors and nurses who came out at the end of last week urging MSPs not to support the bill. They'd previously been neutral on the issue, but they saw a removal of choice in the bill, removal of safeguards, outsourcing of critical protections to the UK government. There's no longer any choice for hospices, and indeed there's no longer any choice for future MSPs who may wish to amend the bill in a future parliament, because critical areas will now be determined by the UK government.